Okay, now the spine line, which is also called the headline, reveals the health of your spine. And it'll show if you have problems with vertebrae or discs in your back. It will show if they are subluxated. And what this means is they're turned out of place or they could be damaged. Or you could have a condition such as scoliosis or a twisting of the spine. It starts right there between the thumb and index finger, or the Jupiter finger, and travels across the palm just under the Mercury finger. Now pull up your spine chart. It's called the Chart of Effects of Spinal Misalignment, and that section underneath the index finger, if you're on your spine line underneath the Jupiter finger, that represents your cervical spine, kind of that neck area, that 1C to 7C, and it goes down to what's called the Dowager's Hump. This is the hump that you see in older folks when they're walking around and they're kind of bent over there at the neck, just under the bottom of the neck and the top of the back. That's where your cervical spine is. Then the area just underneath that Saturn or that middle finger is your thoracic spine. This is your 1T down to your 12T. That's the back that goes all the way down to your waist. Then there's that area underneath the sun finger or the ring finger, and that's your lumbar area. This is 1L to 5L. This is kind of your waist and your hips. Then of course you go down to your sacrum and your coccyx to the tailbone, which is underneath that little or that Mercury finger. Let me tell you a little bit about Kat has a master's degree in health education, and when she was going to college she was developing her craft in hand analysis, and she came across a book from a longtime doctor, Dr. Eugene Scheinman, and he talked about how your spinal health absolutely shows in your hands, and working with Kat over the years it's proven to be very real and accurate. And I always get a little chuckle when I hear back on some of the past clients that have taken their charts to their chiropractor or their physical therapist and having an evaluation, and the medical care provider was amazed how spot on the charts were. Okay, let's look at your chart. If you look over there on the left hand side of your chart, you'll see an image of a spine, and you can see where Kat circled some of the vertebrae. And it looks like those little vertebrae, 1C down to actually 7C, that whole neck looks like it's encompassed, where you might have some issues there. Let's see. Oh, you didn't say in your information if you have any damage in that spine or not. That definitely shows where they're out of place or some issues with the vertebrae and the disc there. And then that 1T down to 4T, right there at the top of your back. Looks like you've got some misalignment there or some issues. And then if you look down at the bottom, 11T down to that 1L, that lumbar region, you've got some issues going on there. If you look over to the right, you'll see the areas column. That tells you what part of the body is affected when those vertebrae or discs have issues. And then all the way over to the right, you'll see the effects, and these are the symptoms you can have when you've got issues with those vertebrae. And I noticed that when we was looking at your heart line, you had a couple of little triangles on the bottom part there. Boy, when that 2T's out, that can really put stress on that heart. Get you a little bit of chronic fatigue or anxiety going. And when that 1C's out of place, that can lead to depression and kind of exacerbate that. Also, that 7C can really get anxiety going. So you can kind of look up and down this chart and see if you have any of those symptoms. And you can tell what might be a little bit of a contributing factor when you've got issues with that spine. And I'll tell you, when we see this, what we usually suggest is to get into a good chiropractor, or even better yet, a good physical therapist, and see if they can't get those issues straightened out. And especially where that 1C is out of place and that 2C, you want to find somebody that knows craniosacral work. And what they'll do is they'll go into the roof of the mouth and they kind of manipulate those little plates right there. And they have a little better access to that 1C and 2C vertebrae. And I'll tell you, you've got a lot of fussy energy lines that are going across a lot of these other main lines. And when we see those backs out of place, we've seen that quite a bit, that they kind of create a lot of these extra lines of energy that go across the hand. We find that once you get that straightened up, you find that a lot of those clean up. We find a lot of times that when people get those realigned, that they just have a lot more energy, a lot more ambition, and they just feel a lot better during the day. So that's something to consider. And I've seen many of Kat's clients and people she's done readings for, they'll take these charts down and show it to their doctors, and it's kind of a funny story how people will come back and their doctors are just amazed how accurate these spine charts are.